Hello and welcome to this Google Web Designer video tutorial. I'm Owen Corso from Google, and today we're going to cover video component usage and tracking. I've already created a file containing a video component, a YouTube video component, and a carousel gallery. Simply by adding the GWD components to the stage, standard tracking for each is automatically added to the code. First, we'll review what I've set up in the GWD file, and then we'll take a look at how it appears in Studio. Click on the video component on the stage and expand the Properties accordion. You will see that I gave the component an identifiable name so I can accurately find it when assigning events. I have a local MP4 file as the video and used the default controller. Now let's click on the YouTube video component, and I see that I gave it an identifiable name, and I have the full video URL listed to identify which video to pull in. Lastly, I have a carousel with a unique name and have added 4 images to it. Let's collapse that panel and expand the events panel. Here you see a long list of events that I've added to facilitate tracking and navigation. All of the tracking metrics here will appear in the Studio UI once I upload the files. I will walk through adding a custom counter. First, click on the plus button in the events panel. Next, select the instance you want to add the tracking to. I will select the carousel. Next, I select carousel. In action, double-click component and then incremental counter. Receiver is GWD add. And in the configuration panel, we enter the metrics ID we want for tracking. Before I hit save for this example, I want to check the is cumulative checkbox. When I check this box, it means that the creative will track every time I click this button. When you uncheck it, the counter will only track once per impression. This option prevents a single user from clicking multiple times and skewing the metrics. If you just want to see if something was interacted with, I suggest unchecking this box. If you want to see every click, then check it. Now I'll go ahead and hit save. Again, all of the code is automatically added in based on what we just did here. Now let's jump over to the Studio UI and take a look. After the files are uploaded, you'll be able to click on the Edit Events circle to see what the ad is tracking. I have 14 custom counters that will be tracked in this ad, as well as quite a few standard counters. As I roll over, you can see that there's a pencil icon that pops up. If I click on that, I can edit some of the event's properties, such as changing the name that will appear for tracking or changing an exit URL. Once I am happy with the tracking, I navigate to the preview screen and a simulation of my ad will appear. Click on the Show Details button to see all of the events fire as you interact with the ad. You can watch them fire off one by one and identify any which are not working correctly. If you find a broken one, you will go back and fix it in GWD, then upload the assets to Studio again. That covers the basics of component tracking.